What's going on, Weekend Dads, fantasy football fans? We're here with the Week 1 recap. We're going to go kind of off the top, look through Week 1, see who made some questionable management decisions, see who won last week, and we're going to run through these last week's matchups. So on your screen now, you'll see the standings from after Week 1. This is Jason, the Cheeky Chinchillas, commissioner of all things and all things life for these Weekend Dads members. So we got 3 members of the Black Division, and the Bebop and Baby Bears, the Booty Pebbles, and the Cheeky Chinchillas winning last week. Then the Father of the Mags and the Nutcrackers getting wins. So we'll go over to the scoreboard. We'll kick it off at the bottom down here because we're gonna probably save the better ones for the end, and I'm not sure if the better is one of the words we're going to use for this one. But we got the Nutcrackers having a good performance, winning over the Chain Gang. So came down to Monday Night Football. Darren Waller against Lamar Jackson. I think Austin, I guess it was about the same. So Trevor needed Lamar to outscore Waller by about 20-ish points. Waller got 1,000 targets, so never was going to happen. Tough running for the Chain Gang last week. You've got Derrick Henry, 9 points last week. Who would have seen that coming? Couldn't run the ball. Raheem Mostert, honestly, probably would have scored 30. Got hurt after 2 carries, out for the season. Brandon Ayuk, 0 points. Not much to say there. I mean, who would have expected that? He didn't play that many snaps. Kyle Shanahan's giving him shit. It's going to take a couple weeks to get Ayuk as a trustworthy guy in the Chain Gang lineup. Kicked it off Thursday Night Football with the Bucks D going -3 as well, which didn't help. So it's an 0-1 start. You look on the bench, though, for over here on the Chain Gang. You got 20 points from Melvin Gordon. Devonta Smith, 16 points. I believe he had most of those points in the first half. And might be a pretty good receiving pick for a team that's losing Ayuk already, it seems like. So that's nice to have. You got Kareem Hunt on your bench, which I think it was tough to say you were starting Kareem Hunt over Mostert last week. So can't disrespect it too much. But Nutcrackers, don't love how things played out for Harris. I mean, he played 100% of snaps, so he should be better versus a worse defense than 5.4. Eckler with 0 targets still ended up with 11.7 points. He's getting a lot of the work on the ground, so he should have a better weeks ahead if he can stay healthy and get some more receptions. Galladay had 8 points. This is the move, though. So OBJ announced out right before game time, and what does the Nutcrackers do? They don't panic. They go and pick up Sterling Shepard, old reliable. This is the staple of the Nutcrackers franchise. They plug him right in, 21.8, and that's how you win your fantasy matchup. You can just play the waiver wire. So beautiful execution here by the Nutcrackers. Got on that James Robinson hype train, and what happened? Carlos Hyde. So can't start James Robinson over DeAndre Swift. Mixed reports for Swift going into the week, so I can see that. And then we got Cam Akers still. He'll be back. Good keeper value here. So let's go over to the next one, the highest scoring game of the week. Bebop and Baby Bears, 175-86. Started off with Brady scoring 28, Amari Cooper 33 on Thursday night. I don't know if we had any Thursday night players over here, but it kind of felt like Blake was going to run away with it after the hot Thursday night start. His 2 Falcons pass catchers and Ridley and Pitts didn't do too great, but he had Marvin Jones, a staple of the Bebop and Baby Bears. Maybe the Bebop and Baby Bear, if we had to name one, would be Marvin Jones until he gets hurt in week 4. Christian McCaffrey, 23 points without a touchdown. Joe Mixon, arguably, could be his best week of the year. We don't know. So, then also a good Corey Davis play over Edmonds, Juju, Watkins. Pretty good team here. Blake did well. We'll see how he is with injuries. So over to the Gorillas. The running backs hurt. Aaron Jones went up against the best run defense in the league, and it's I think 5 for 6. It's not going to pull up. So there we go. Yeah, 5 carries for 9 yards. That's not great. Saquon is still being eased in. It might be a couple weeks before the Zerillos can start Barkley. So, I mean, but it's kind of tough to come back from from your top two picks. Mike Gesicki, not really even sure what happened here, but did not score any points. Montgomery was pretty solid. Good receivers here. I mean, DJ Moore probably had a down week and still scored 12.4. Cooper Kupp had a great week. Him and Stafford got good rapport. Deebo Samuel, I think, was the wide receiver 3 last week. So, really good start. There's a lot of upside on this team. And you look down here, you got Jamal Williams. You could plug him in for Barkley this week. Brandon Cooks, Jarvis Landry. So, the receiving depth is there. We just got to get the running backs situated for those Zerillos. And then Tannehill, I think, 14 points in that game is somewhat miraculous for how bad they played. But should be better days for the Zerillos after a rough week 1. We'll move over to. Oh, and I apologize. I should have saved this one for last, as it was last week's game of the week, but just not on the order of the screen in front of me. So Blake 1-0 in games of the week so far this year. Move over to father of the Mags, winning against the Cardboard Hippos. Also one that kind of got away from the Hippos early. They had a good comeback over the course of the day. But Kyler started off pretty hot, and it was, I think, Zeke on Thursday night with 4.9. Kind of told the story for the Hippos for last week. So it was kind of hard to come back from that, and I believe he had someone play Thursday. Maybe not. Oh, he had Greg Zerline outscore Zeke. So, when your RB1 can't beat the other team's kicker, it's hard to be a little positive going into the weekend. But yeah, for Jimmy's team, Kyler looked like he could be the QB1 on the year. He looked really good. They put a pretty easy win. Their defense was good, which is kind of what the upside was for Kyler, is that they'd have a bad defense. So I don't know. Maybe it could prove for some bad weeks. Josh Jacobs 16.5, and Josh Jacobs scored 2 touchdowns. And I don't know. Could you have got a better outcome from Josh Jacobs? Probably not. He had 2 touchdowns and scored 16.5. I just can't reward things that get there when they shouldn't have. Adams had Lattimore on him. What are you going to do when you're going against the best cornerback in the league? 8.1 is pretty good against Lattimore, I'll be honest. I was impressed that Adams had that kind of day. DJ Shark and Thielen, good plays here. Thielen had 2 touchdowns. Everyone was on Jefferson. People have been saying all offseason, Justin Jefferson's the wide receiver 1. He's got to beat Thielen on his own team first. Let's be real. A little surprised with Andrews and Pittman hitting that low of a number. But look at this bench here. Is Jimmy wide receiver you? Jamar Chase, Mike Williams, Christian Kirk, AJ Green. He's got AJ Green down here. He could double stack Arizona. So, and he handcuffed J.K. Dobbins, who's not his team now, but he's got the Baltimore Ravens backup. So, father of the Mags. I think this could be the year they're leading the white division so far. And over here, I don't know if Dustin could have had a worse run out for his better players, 17.2 for Josh Allen, Zeke 5 points. I could see both of these being their lowest scoring weeks of the year. Deontay got hurt and came back. I don't know what the difference was between Jefferson and Thielen, to be honest. But, Jefferson with no touchdown scoring 10.5 PPR leagues, not that bad. Good Marquise Brown play. I gave him crap. I said he should have played Harris. He was right. I Venmoed him $10. We pay our bets. We take the L's. Harris, I think, was impressive. He did get 100 yards. He fumbled at the end. We'll see if they punish him this week, but I think that's some good running back depth. Jonte Williams is going to come along. It's just going to take a little bit. Stafford, with the way Stafford started, he's probably a pretty safe floor. He doesn't have too much upside. Stafford couldn't have had a better game and still only got 25, only outscored Allen by 8 in Allen's worst game. So, Jalen Waddle also looked pretty good. So, they get Fuller back, so we'll see how Waddle does this week. And yeah. So, we'll see how the Hippos move onwards and upwards from here. And, this is a game. The Booty Pebble's been waiting for this game since last year. Lost to Colin in the playoffs embarrassingly, and they get their revenge. Cook and Kamara on Collins' side probably had like a floor game, to be honest. Like Kamara played super well, just didn't really need to do that much. Scored 16.6. Dalvin Cook maybe regressed a little bit. I'm not sure. I didn't watch so much of that Vikings game, but I mean, this is kind of the power of the Gibbs Sons. You know, you got these two running backs here. They don't give you like their best week, but they're not by any means hurting you. They still outperform their projection or pretty close to their projection. So just two really good safe floor plays right here. I mean, 1.32. And if I'm Colin, you can't be playing quarterbacks against the Saints defense. You got Lattimore, so you lose Adams. So his best receiver is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Like, what did you expect the guy to do? He's had a long summer. We've seen Packers fans ready for Rodgers to be called, and they want Jordan Love. So not a good situation here. We'll see how Rodgers does this week. He's playing the Lions. So Mike Evans, terrible start. T. Higgins got injured, had to go get an IV, and missed a good bit of the game. Scored a touchdown early, which kind of saved his day from a fantasy standpoint. Robbie Anderson, one catch for a long touchdown. Could have been a 0 here pretty easily. Chris Carson, I mean, pretty much I think the only running back that was really able to play. 16 carries, 3 receptions. So, I don't know. We need some more production from Chris Carson here. If he's going to be like getting that kind of workload in like an offense like Seattle, like 11.2 is not a great outcome. Washington defense was pretty surprisingly not as good against the Chargers. Their front seven is probably one of the better ones in the NFL, we thought. But Chargers offensive line pretty much handled them all day. Then you got the go kicker over here for Harrison Butker. But looking on Collins' bench, I mean, he didn't make any decisions that really cost him. This is a team, maybe say panicking over their wide receiver room. I mean, you got the running backs squared away. You don't have a tight end. You have Higbee on your bench. You got to get some wide receivers on this team, or it could be a lot of uphill sledding this year for the Gibbs Sons, weekend ads, reigning champion. So the Booty Pebbles here. So we got the Russ to Lockett stack. I mean, hit the nuts there this week. Godwin had a great Thursday Night Football. He's going to be just as good as he could be this year. McLaurin don't know what to think of McLaurin going forward. He's got Taylor Heineke now. He lost Fitzmagic after maybe like a drive to a hip injury. Pretty much going to ruin his year. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, kind of the same situation as Carson. Like, got a lot of work, I think. 14 carries, 3 receptions. And the Chiefs offense that scored, 33 points? So I don't know. Clyde's got to get some form of like usage off this volume he's going to get, or he's just really not going to be fantasy valuable for the Booty Pebbles. But when you got to have this good stack up here with Wilson and Lockett, it's 50 points, and it's going to help you win weeks. Nick Chubb was great too, and probably a matchup that didn't look to be too good on paper, but Cleveland got ahead, lost at the end. So despite only catching one pass, Nick Chubb had a good game. I apologize. Nick Chubb and his family, 2 receptions last week. So Nick Chubb's a great guy. Love Nick Chubb. He's going to be around for a long time. Tyson Williams, he should have played him though. Like, you're not going to get another opportunity this year to play Tyson Williams. So what is this bench? How was Trey Sermon in IR? He wasn't hurt. We're going to have to talk to the commissioner about this IR violation from the Booty Pebbles last week. But congrats to the Booty Pebbles. You're in second place in the Black Division. The good week 1, second most points for in the league. So this is the tightest matchup of the week. And you'll see here, empty defense. So at the end of Sunday Night Football, Darrell Henderson's last run put us over the HODDY TOTTY by, I think, less than a point. I think it was 0.7. So what do? We're winning. We only have Baltimore defense left. We decided to pull the defense, lock in the win. Only way we can lose is the stat correction. Baltimore defense got -1 point, so we would have lost. But then we get a stat correction on, I think George Kittle had a fumble, that they ruled a fumble that wasn't a turnover. So they gave them 2 points back today. So we ended up winning by almost 3 points. So it would have been high drama if I had left the Ravens in. It would have been a win, would have been down to a -1 point defensive loss, and then we would have got stat corrected on a Wednesday to get the win. So sometimes you get a little lucky there. But again, great management by the Jiggy Chinchillas, not playing the Baltimore Ravens defense. Also, waiver pickup of the week, right before lock. Zach Moss is out. Picked up Elijah Mitchell. I mean, Trey Sermon also was announced healthy scratch, so we just took a shot at Elijah Mitchell. Mostert gets hurt pretty quickly. So, you know, we saved up $50 in fab this week, getting Mitchell early. Now we got a good RB2. Some say RB1. But we had Dak to CD on Thursday against his Tony Pollard. Pollard had a good game, only scored 6 points, but there's some promise, I think, there for Pollard for the year. But the Cowboys offense looked every bit as good as they were before Dak got injured. So should be, I think, 15 targets for Lamb, also with like 16 for Cooper. So this should be hopefully a good stack for us the whole year. A.J. Brown, not a great game, got there with a touchdown. I think Diggs had 9 catches and only like 60 yards, something like that. Yeah, so 14 targets, 9 catches, 11.4 points. You know, that's half PPR. That's why people say you get running backs early, because like no touchdown here for Diggs, and it kind of sunk his week, even though he was pretty involved in the passing game there. Hopkins scored 2 touchdowns pretty early. Didn't get the 100-yard bonus for us, but had a really good. I think this is all in the first half. They won pretty big. So Hopkins is Hopkins. And then Sanford pretty much up the whole game. Kittle was used a little bit in the first half. I mean, should have better days ahead, but that doesn't really kill you too much from the tight end spot, because there's really not that many good tight ends around the league. Lost Judy, that hurts. Fuller's back. Callaway was in Jay Alexander. Oh wait, we'll go back to the running backs here. So the people said, how are they going to win with Nyheim Hines as RB2? And I mean, we went over all the teams. How many teams had a better RB1 and RB2 combined at 26 points? Maybe like 3. So, you know, there's some zero RB truthers out there. And I'm one of them. I haven't admitted it right now. HODDY TOTTY had a really good week. And I'm pretty lucky, I think, that I survived this almost 200-yard game from Tyreek Hill and Mahomes. So, 67 points combined here, 66.8. So, I mean, I was up a good bit, and then this late afternoon stack brought him back a little bit. So, lucky to pull one out here. Need some running backs. So, I mean, I love the receivers on this team. Mike Davis and Tony Pollard, you know, you got to fix this running back room. DK got a touchdown late, kind of saved his week. Julio doing Julio things. We're used to this. So I'm not shocked to see this week. LaVisca really involved, just didn't score. You know, it's tough to have PPR. You know, you really got to get touchdowns. It's more important than you think. But 7 for 50, not a bad week for him. But this is the guy that's a big pick for HODDY TOTTY. 10 targets, 8 receptions, 97 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, if this is a top tight end on the year, it's going to be big for HODDY TOTTY. He's just going to have to figure out the running back situation. Yeah, overall good week in the zero RB battle in a close game. Exciting one. So let's see. These are the official power rankings that some of us believe in. Let's see how this looks. So Chinchillas moved down to 2. The Bears move up to 1. The Chinchillas were at 10 before we picked up the defense. So I mean, you can tell Snickers and Watson really value the defensive plays. Booty Pebbles moving up. Chain Gang moving up despite the loss. Cirillo's moving down. Don't see. That's tough to see. Nutcracker's moving down despite the win. I don't know. We'll see the official power rankings later this week when the Bebop and Baby Bears bring us a power rankings video. But hopefully this was a fun one. Make sure to hammer that like button, hammer the subscribe button. We're not going to be paying checks. Jimmy's got a kid. He's got another kid on the way. We got to make more income off these videos. So smash that like button. Comment below who was your week 2 game of the week. We'll pull that up for you so you can see the week 2 matchups. So comment below game of the week 2. Who do you want to see featured this week? But thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week for our week 2 review.